Welcome to this segment of Soul, Silence, and Sound. This is Suzanne Toro, and this segment's brought to you by BeSimply. And I want to thank you all for being here today. We're going to dive into accountability and self-awareness. And oftentimes here on this glorious planet with our fellow humanity, we can get into a finger-pointing game or put demands on one another versus taking full accountability from within. So today we're going to dive into what it means to be accountable and also to what it means to be self-aware. And these are really important for your own relationship with yourself and then also your relationship with others. When one starts to have self-awareness with how you meet the world around you, it makes things a little bit more telling and interesting and effortless, because then you have to, if you so to choose, start to ask yourself some questions, especially when you have inner triggers or things rising up that might give you cues that there's some healing to have to take place right there. So today the contemplation is, are you willing to be accountable? And when we look at this from a spiritual practice, it's a little different than just a one life, one shot practice, because when we're accountable, this means that we're willing to be accountable not only in this present moment but in future moments, because we're paving our way there. Also, we are willing to take accountability for things that we may not understand. Now, this does not mean that you become the doormat, that you are the one that has to do all the work. It just means that you're willing to look at things from all sides. So a simple example would be you're feeling down on your luck. You're feeling like, wow, the world's just up against me. And when this happens, you might start to think, gosh, you might get bitter, you might have different emotions, you might start blaming. Yet as soon as that starts to happen, if one steps back and begins to look and say, wow, I don't know what's going on here, but clearly there's a little bit of chaos, or you might feel like bad luck, might feel like the deck is stacked against you, whatever it is. And if you step back and say, okay, what exactly is going on here? And what do I need to do to actually bring this into at least neutrality or balance? And sometimes with that pause, you'll start to see what needs to be done in the present moment. Also, you'll start to see that there are other factors that you don't understand that brought you to here. And if you start looking around at what might feel like bad luck or misfortune, you might start to see the root cycle that has caused this. And for whatever moment, for whatever reason, you don't have to know the past history, meaning the karma that brought you to here, but for whatever reason, you are partaking in this moment. And then you have a choice if you want to be self-aware or if you want to play a role that will perpetuate that cycle. And so it kind of looks like this, like, oh, this is a very unfortunate situation. I've had many of those in this lifetime. And then you start to say, well, how do I want to show up in this unfortunate situation? Again, not grasping at anything external, asking self these questions. And if you're in a level of trauma or shock, if you've done your inner work prior to that, you'll inadvertently, naturally go to some of these defaults, which would just be stillness to observe. If not, that's okay. You be where you're at. But if you're not in a heightened state of trauma or shock, but you're realizing that things are falling apart around you or within you, that you can decide how you want to show up. And do you want to show up as woe is me, the world is against me, Or do you want to say, wow, what's being asked of me? And what do I need in this moment? What do I want to help me out of this situation or to have the best outcome? Sometimes when we're having bad luck, it could have to do with our health, mental, physical, emotional, even spiritual. So when we start to get really still into this calm place, we start to become aware of what's needed, because we're not grasping, we're not letting our affect go out of control. We're just saying, whoa, I got to take a little time out. I got to collect myself. And if you have friends that are near and dear to you, or family that know you really well, then they'll be there. They'll show up in the way that's needed in that moment. Sometimes these situations happen and you are destined to walk that path all on your own, which is sometimes the most powerful blessing that you could ever have, because you'll really get to know yourself. Also, you'll get to know those that, are attuned to you, that are aware. And so right now, at this moment on planet Earth, you see the generations, all the generations, but you see especially from the younger generations, from the children to the teens to the young adults, there's a different level of self-awareness and self-accountability. And that is permeating all the way into the older generations, into our elders. And in this process, when we have self-awareness, this gives us cues as to who we're destined to relate to, who we're destined to work with, and how we can help our other brothers and sisters that might not be self-aware or willing to be accountable. So when we decide we're going to be self-aware and we bring ourselves into a level of accountability, sometimes when life is stacked against us or even with us, that's another time that we need self-awareness and self-accountability, is that we're willing to step into that role. We're willing to understand that, wow, this is going to take this, this, and this, and I'm going to stand up in that. I'm going to be accountable. I'm going to use all the awareness I possibly have to navigate what I'm walking into or what I found myself in. And why I say it's equally important as it is when you feel like, the decks are stacked against you. When you're having good fortune, humility, self-awareness, and accountability are really important. Because sometimes when people are in a place of good fortune, they get careless. They think, oh, I have all this, and they forget that later on they may not have that. And I'll use the analogy of a farmer. A farmer will prepare from season to season, knowing that they cannot guarantee that everything will go according to plan. So with that being said, I encourage you currently in your life really to sit back and evaluate, where am I most effortlessly self-aware and accountable? You might be a parent and it's second nature. You're accountable to your kids. You're there for them or not. It's just to figure out where you're at in this moment. And are you really self-aware? And so this is a little thing that you can do with yourself, meaning I would like you to observe yourself for an entire day. I would like you to observe how you walk into a room, how you put down objects, how you talk to other people. I would like you to observe your inner energy. Is it ramped up? Is it calm? Is it erratic? Do your emotions stay regulated? Just observe without judgment. Without judgment. Now, the more that you are willing to practice self-observation, you will naturally become more self-aware. And then that will require you to be accountable. So many people want to do the blame game, from generations to relationships to future generations. But there's no one really to blame. It's our choice how we want to transform what is. And sure, you will potentially have to let go of relationships that do not have the capacity to bring accountability and self-awareness to you and to themselves. So if you're, and this is part of the era we're moving out of, if you love the idea of, the person that has had bad luck and they rise up and we all love this the underdog story. We love this idea that the underdog succeeds and rises up and transforms. And so what happens with this love affair that we have with the underdog story is, because I think we can all relate to it at some point in time, we've all been that, is that sometimes we don't use our discernment when we decide to engage with someone. We might, especially if you're very empathic or been through a lot of trauma, you might relate and have compassion, but you're not objective and rational as to what the person is capable of. And this is what can happen in relationships, friendships, families, work, intimate relationships, that one is not objectively able to see what someone's capacity is in interrelationships, and especially in their ability to relate with themselves. When someone's self-aware and willing to be accountable, there's a level of humility to them, and there's a willingness to really see things from all directions, and they can typically figure out what's the best solution, but it might not always look as one anticipates. So, with that being said, the first step is to be accountable to yourself. Be willing to look at all sides and observe self for an entire day without judgment. And then I encourage you to continue doing this, even when maybe you're in a more passive role at work or at home, just to observe what's going on. And then when or if you notice yourself activated, meaning your emotional affect comes up, your physical affect comes up or shifts, your spiritual affect comes up, your mind gets activated, that's a great time just to observe and ask yourself a few hard questions. Meaning, what's going on? What do you need? And are you able to do that for yourself in this moment? When someone realizes that they can take care of themselves, there are less demands put on the external world, meaning that their loved ones, their children, that they know they can get what they need, they can take care of themselves, and there's less of a demand on the community at large. And for those of you that are listening and tend to have a need right now, because of where you're at with your own individual capacity, that you need more talking, you need more listening, you need more compassion, that's okay. Yet, rather than put those on your immediate relationships, which can become taxing and straining, find a place, find someone that you can be in counsel with, like myself, like a therapist, whatever that might be, that you can go and interact in that way to bring yourself into harmony. And you can start to identify what you need in a moment and how you can provide that for yourself. Because until we work out our inner landscape, it's really difficult to have healthy relationships with others if they're not in the same place of taking accountability and self-awareness. It's kind of like you guys can float on the water on a raft together and probably have a good time, like a simple, light conversations, maybe a little deep here or there. But pretty much if you're hanging out with people that are self-consumed, the relationship can only go so far, because all beings are needing to be accountable to have a healthy, interdependent, dynamic relationship. You can start with you, and then guess what will happen? You will start to attract other people that are willing to be in that space with you. There won't be games, there won't be blocking, there won't be ghosting, there won't be all these different things that happen because there's the inability, the lack of capacity, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, to take responsibility, to bring in awareness, and to understand how to exchange with one another in a harmonious, balanced fashion. So today, as we go into this sound and silence, I welcome you just to check in briefly as we dive into the silence and just sit and be with the fact, like, how accountable am I? Do I try to avoid being responsible for anything I do? Just to see where you're at. And then in the upcoming week, if inspired, you'll practice self-awareness, not out of judgment, not out of being conscious of yourself, meaning feeling awkward with how you are, but just to really just see yourself as you are. Oh, wow, I'm like that. And it can make you giggle, but don't judge it, just to observe. From there, you've opened up a door where you're ready to see the world in this way. And then you'll start to see people that are relating to you like, wow, they are completely unaware of their surroundings. They're completely not willing to be self-accountable or self-aware. No judgment. It just gives you a barometer of where someone's at and where you can meet them. That way you don't put demands on them that they're just not capable of giving you. So we're going to lead into the silence right now, and then we'll go into the sound, and I'll meet you on the other side. I welcome you just to come up into an upright seated position and take a soft, gentle breath in. And then exhale out. Another one, inhale. And exhale. Good. Again, inhale. And exhale. Good. One more inhale. And exhale. And then just gently from there, welcoming you to follow your natural breathing pattern in and out. Again, inhale.
seen, it is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard, it is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Listen, it cannot be seen, it is beyond form. Look, it cannot be heard, it is beyond sound. Wait, it cannot be held back. The sands are falling down. Wait, it cannot be held
So just gently, I welcome you to just bring yourself into Shavasana, reclining completely flat on the floor or bed or sofa, and just lay with your back to that surface, palms face up, and then continue to follow your breath and receive. Anondo ane ai, ane ane om. Ano ane ai, ane ane ram, ane ane ram. Adodo ane je ai, ane ane om. Ado ane ai, ane ane om. Ane ane om. Adono ane alam, ane ane om. Ano ane ai, ane ane om. Ane ane om. Ano ane ai, ane ane lam. Ano ane ai, ane ane ram, ane ane ram. Taking a soft, gentle breath in and out of your heart center. Gently breathing in And out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Another one, inhale. And exhale. Continuing to follow your natural breathing pattern. And then gently breathing in and out. Welcoming you to bring your attention back to here. And if ready, you can just gently rise up to a seated position. Taking a nice, gentle breath in and out. Again, inhale. And exhale. Another one, inhale. And exhale. And then just taking a moment to just receive a little bit deeper the transition back into the next. And if inspired during this next week, I really welcome you to take a deep inner and outer evaluation. I welcome you to step into your courage, your ethics, walking, talking, and being in alignment with your highest expression. One by one, as we reconnect to our humanity, you will be greatly surprised and reassured at how important and effortless it is to trust yourself. So as we sign out, we're going to listen to a song by Kadri called Shine. May you all shine bright and exchange your highest intelligence with one another. And special thanks to Random Rab and Dante Marino for your indirect and direct contributions to this segment. Until next time, this is Suzanne signing out with a full heart, a soft gaze, a gentle smile, a deep bow, and a namaste. Be simple.
Every day